Okay, folks, this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can make it look any good. Sorry about the shaking, folks. Damn this shaking. I'm trying to hold it till I get my hands to sit still. It won't. It's been a warm day, courtesy of climate change, folks. Hopefully, yeah, my hand's a bit better now for some reason. Well, didn't mean to be rough. Sorry, folks. I'm not like that with my equipment. Just because things don't go right doesn't mean I put the boot in, so to speak. Anyway, let's see. We've got here a supermarket recipe magazine, and we're interested in this thing. It says Bicky Bliss, and we're interested in this picture. Bicky Bliss. Yeah, I don't eat that sort of stuff anymore. I never cooked it, but I do like my sweets. But because I have a weight gain problem at the moment, I'm trying to lose weight, trying to diet. I can't afford to pack on the kilojoules. I need to lose weight. My clothes are getting tight. I may not be able to cut my toenails on my own. I can't have people putting my shoes on and pulling up my socks. I don't know how people who are morbidly obese, how they can deal with these day-to-day issues. I've never been that big, but I'm worried that I'm going to be if I don't take action with my diet. Now that looks really quite interesting. So if I don't take action with my diet, it could happen. I could end up morbidly obese. I've got a gut feeling I may not stop gaining if I don't take action. If I don't take action, that'll be a problem. And I can't afford that. I'm not rich. I don't have money to see a podiatrist or a nail person. I just don't have that. This is it. We're going to photocopy this, going to move it around. Yeah, I just can't afford all that stuff, folks. Just because I'm gaining weight. And it's not healthy. You know, you can die of it. But anyway, it's not always cut and dried when it comes to weight loss. Just because someone does everything right, they can still gain weight. Because there's a lot of factors that that happen with weight loss and weight gain. And sometimes people have, like metabolic problems, and some people have all sorts of issues that cause a failure in weight loss. It's not all about the person being too greedy with the food and that. It's not all about that. I hate the way people try to make fat people feel bad about themselves. Like you got to be allowed to have a treat as well. You can't just be. I just wish people wouldn't give fat people such a bad go. Or people who are obese. I think the word fat is a bit archaic, folks. I shouldn't have used that term, folks. Sorry about that. I didn't mean it as an insult. Obese. Even the word obese doesn't sound too flattering these days. Now we're going to use this little piece and enlarge it on the horizontal. But yeah, it's just difficult losing weight. It's not easy, folks, and I just hate the way people give obese people a bad time, just because they can eat what they want and not gain. A lot of the time it's the thin people who judge. But, some people can't help being thin. Some people who are thin just want to gain, even though to a fat person being thin is a dream. But even being thin has its problems as well. So it's not just the fat person or the obese overweight person that's got the problem. It's also the thin people who want to put on a bit of weight to not be so stick-like. You know, they can be teased for being anorexic and shit like that, and bulimic, and then of course that's eating disorders. So there's all sorts of shit. So I'm just trying to lose a bit of weight, or should I say I'm actually got to lose about 30 kilos. I'm not morbidly obese, but I'm just trying to nip that in the bud. For me, I do think I can lose weight. It's not a problem. It is a bit of a problem, but it's not a problem like having a weight problem, a real weight problem. I'm just wondering if we can make this a bit smaller or a bit larger. I don't really like it that much, folks. Maybe we're going to leave it on that and we're going to just print it off. But yeah, it's not easy losing weight, or for some people gaining weight. And there's just so many people, we all get jealous of each other, and that's another thing again, being jealous, not just because of weight, but because of how much money you have and and possessions that you have, especially when you're a kid and you see you're not rich and you see your friends in the neighbourhood, they've got a VCR. In the old days, a VCR or video cassette recorder was a real status, a rich person's thing. I remember those days, and I remember my neighbours had them, and I really wished my parents had one. This was back in I've already done this, or have we? This was back in 1981 when I first saw a video cassette recorder, or VCR, if anyone remembers what a VCR was. But basically, yeah, my parents never had one. Oh yeah, my mum eventually did buy one back in 1986, but that was like a good 5 years after I first saw one. Unfortunately, this particular model was very, very temperamental. It had problems. So it was a top of the range type of VCR, but they called it. This one was called a VTR, video tape recorder, like Sharp. I forgot the model number, but basically, yeah, we had one eventually, and it was really like exciting to be able to record things and watch videos from the video store instead of just television. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty much a big deal in those days. Anyway, that looks interesting. I think now we can call it quits.